My name is Eileen Sova. I'm a contemporary portrait painter and I'm 37 years old. Since I was a child, I was only painting portraits or drawing portraits. I actually found an old sketchbook of mine from when I was 8 years old, 10 years old, and it's all faces, and it's all women's faces. Part of my thinking behind the Missing Women project was to monumentalize the women through oil painting. So I think in the past, you'll know that oil-painted portraits are of politicians, they're of religious figures, they're of the elite. And to take someone who isn't being talked about by the larger public and to monumentalize them through oil painting is kind of turning that on its head. So I'm trying to say these women are important, these women are worth us to look at on a canvas. I wanted to find something about the woman's personality in order to paint them. I'm trying to find that one quote that would say she loved lacrosse, or she liked to write poetry, or she had a funny laugh, or she loved math, like some kind of tidbit about their personality. So Nancy Liu is a case that really stuck out for me because again, she was someone who had run away before. However, she'd always kept in contact with her family. And there's this one image that always sticks in my head that they had a security camera when she left her apartment. It was the last time she was seen. And on the security camera, they say you can see her smiling at someone who was in the parking lot. But there were no security video cameras pointed towards the parking lot, so they can't see who she was smiling at, but she smiles and then runs out the door. This image of her doing that has always stuck in my mind because I think, who was she smiling at and who was she running towards? And this person was probably someone who had ill intentions towards her, but she didn't know that.
The women whose trails are cold was very haunting because there's like maybe a paragraph written about them, if that, and then nothing. So it's really like these women had vanished into thin air.
The women that were the hardest to find were the ones from Toronto because the Toronto Police Service doesn't have an online missing persons database. I've even gone into the the Pages from the Past and the Canadian Newsstand, and I've put in black female missing, and there's nothing. I can't find anything. Okay, so the first thing I would do is find a photograph on the internet that best shows the woman's face. So the second thing I would do is go to the canvas. I would paint it with this warm brown color, and then I would use a paintbrush and a dark brown color to draw the basic, what I call the skeleton of the face. So I would draw it out, and then I would mix up the flesh tones, and then I paint it. I was having nightmares and restless nights, and hearing what had happened to these women when the hierarchy of women was revealed to me through looking through the database. Seeing images of women that went missing from my city who I'd never seen before, had never been in the newspaper, was shocking and jarring. I was having a really hard time emotionally with the stuff I was dealing with. So I had watched that TED Talk by Eve Ensler that kind of changed my perspective, where she talks about by putting a voice to something that is silenced, or giving a voice to something that has no voice, by talking about things that we don't normally talk about, this brings true happiness or true harmony to society. I hope when the viewer goes to the gallery that they, at first, they will look at these paintings and think, wow, they're just, beautiful portraits of these women. But when they investigate deeper and look deeper, they'll see the titles saying, Amber Potts missing or Nancy Liu missing, and then it's charged, it's emotionally charged.
I thought they were incredibly haunting, incredibly beautiful at the same time. She has a really amazing way of painting a portrait to make it very painterly but also emotionally charged, because almost all the pictures, they're smiling, or they seem they seem like in a normal moment, in a normal state, but there's something about the way that they're painting that just doesn't seem happy. I don't know what it is. I think now looking back, I think it's that she's able to convey through the way she's painted and through the style something that's unsettling.
I've gotten lots of letters from family members thanking me for bringing attention to these cases, because a lot of them are cold cases, and they can't get attention. Maybe they've tried to have another press conference or tried to get the attention of the media, and they haven't been able to. So they say, thank you so much for doing this. You're bringing attention to my sister, mother, aunt's case again. I appreciate that. This is wonderful what you're doing. The story is not finished. There's a beginning and a middle, but there's no end. And I wanted to create awareness around women in our society where the cases haven't been solved, where somebody hasn't been charged, where the person who perpetrated the crime might be still at large. So these stories in particularly engaged me because they weren't finished yet. There's still work that needs to be done.